Carlos Nobre is a senior researcher with the Institute for Advanced Studies at the University of Sao Paulo. He joins us now from the São José dos Campos. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Everyone is now talking about the Amazon now that these fires are sort of in the public consciousness. But this is your life's work. What's the tipping point where the Amazon would turn into a savanna, and how far away are we from that?
The Amazon may turn into a savanna, 70% of the Amazon into a dry, degraded savanna if deforestation rates exceeded 25% of the forest area, about 6.2 million square kilometers. Currently, deforestation rates are about 17% of the basin, so we are not that far. With the current rates of deforestation in the Amazon, not only in Brazil, but mostly in Brazil, it would take 20 to 30 years for us to turn the Amazon in a degraded savanna, which tremendous consequences, emission of 200 billion tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, really making it even harder to meet the Paris Accord targets.
It really is just terrifying, really, when you put it into that sort of context. 20 or 30 years, that's our lifetime. Whose fault is this, and whose responsibility is it to fix it?
Well, the fault is our lack of imagination to think of a different model of development for the global tropics, not only the Amazon. We always thought of development as removing the forest, replacing with grazing lands for cattle or for croplands. But the greatest wealth of the tropical forest and the Amazon is its immense biodiversity. So we have to rethink development models and to really reduce deforestation to zero within the next 5 years. So it's an overall fault, not one particular person or government. However, in the last year, current Brazilian government is really pushing for deforestation, going back 50 years in terms of strategies for developing Brazil.
I'm interested, I want to talk a little bit about the third way that you believe we can approach the Amazon, because I guess people who really fear for the future of the planet would argue that, this is capitalism at play. This is a world where everything is about profit. So how is anyone going to save the Amazon unless it's in their financial interests to do so? But you believe there's another way.
Yes, there is another way, because of course the Amazonian population needs to have well-being. They need to obtain from the forest their income, at least to have well-being, to become middle class. And the richness of the biodiversity is so immense that you can think of a bioeconomy, a new bioeconomy, in which the people from the Amazon would learn how to keep the forest standing, still take some income, some profits from the biodiversity products. That will keep the forest standing and would improve a lot the lives of the Amazonian people.
A lot of people are criticizing Jair Bolsonaro and saying that his policies around deforestation have led to the situation that we're seeing now. What do you think?
Well, the deforestation rates have been increasing since 2015, although in a small way. But President Bolsonaro came with a speech that protecting the forest was irrational, was wrong. We have really to get rid of the forest, replace the forest with big grazing land for cattle, mining. So that was a big mistake. That was a green light for environmental criminals. We have to keep in mind that 70–80% of deforestation in the Amazon is illegal. It's criminals grabbing land, public lands, indigenous territories, conservation areas, and try to really get hold of those lands to become cattle ranches and to sell that land. So
my apologies there, we seem to have lost the connection. That was Carlos Nobre there, senior researcher with the Institute for Advanced Studies at the University of Sao Paulo.